Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're going to be taking a final look in actual fact through my original Xbox game collection. So today, as you can see, I've got my my original Xbox hardware. I've got a really funky and unusual carrying case. Got the original Xbox Live starter kit and the last batch of games back to the letter Z. Also a few odd magazines and strategy guides and things like that. So this is it. This is going to be the very last part of my series looking at the original Xbox. Once we've done this, I have got 2 videos planned on my Xbox 360 collection. I don't have anything like as many for that. And then what we're going to have a look at is my modified original Xbox, and go through that and see just what that can give you in the future, because there's so much great stuff to show you on that as well. But anyway, that's it. Let's have a look and dive straight into this original Xbox collection. So I think what we should do first of all is just have a look at the original Xbox box. Now it is pretty big, so I pulled the camera out as far as I sort of want to. So yeah, this was my original one. So this is almost 20 years old now. Now I'm in the UK, so this was the PAL release, which was a little bit different to the NTSC American release. Now, there wasn't a lot to see on this very plain bog standard box. It wasn't one of the special editions, but it is quite nice to look at some of the games that were featured on top. So you got 2002 FIFA, and it was the FIFA World Cup, Project Gotham Racing, and that was a great game, wasn't it? Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey, that wasn't too bad. I played that recently. Amped Freestyle, well, yeah, not so good. I prefer SSX. The first Buffy game, now that is excellent, and there is also a really good sequel to the Buffy game, MotoGP. Halo, of course, so that was the first game I played on my original Xbox and absolutely loved it. Mad Dash Racing, Dead or Alive 3, also one that I bought on launch day. I absolutely loved that fighter. F1 2002, another great one there. Moved over from the Dreamcast, was Jet Set Radio Future. And then you got Trans World Surf. So there we are. My box isn't too bad, I suppose, all things considered. It is what it is. It's the original box. Now, inside it, you've got these bits of paperwork here. So let's just move the camera in a little bit closer there. There we are. So all of this that you see here came actually inside the box. So first thing was the instruction manual. Now it was in, because this is the European version, obviously it came in lots of different languages. A little warranty card, how to set it up, just all the basic sort of stuff that you would expect to find with a new console. Also got a little bit of paperwork here. So this one's nice little, this is really nice. This is like an original sort of warranty booklet. Yeah, register and get yourself on the Xbox A-list. So receive updates on games and other preferred products and offers. Once again in 6 different languages, and it looks like I did register. You also had a little like flyer for the Xbox magazine, which I bought very much from day one. But sadly, I don't know why, but I just got rid of my Xbox magazine collection. I don't even remember when I did it, but I had it right back to number 1. So I kept a couple of odd issues. I don't know why, which we'll have a look at in a minute, but I've got them pretty much all digitally now, so I don't mind too much. But it was quite nice looking through those old mags. And this is another little flyer. I think this would have come with it at the time. This is just a Microsoft game. So this is games that were either at launch or came out very soon after launch. So the same ones we saw at the back there. Pretty cool stuff, eh? Quite a nice little leaflet that. Now, the other thing we got was this. So the original power supply on the British Xboxes, there was an issue with it and they sent out some replacements. And this is the box that it came in, but I've also used it to keep my little remote control. That was the thing that you would plug in to use the DVD drive, and that was a little adapter. And this was the original big block power supply. I believe that was the replacement that was sent out, and it was just a safety thing. So that's what that was, and that was the normal power supply lead. So let's get those out of the way, and then the actual original Xbox, well, it's not like you've not seen one of them before. It just came just like this, and it had the foam ends on to keep it protected inside the box. And there we are, and that's, as I said, that's my original one from back in the day, and it served me very, very well, and I'm very pleased to still have it after all these years. However, nowadays, the Xbox that I've got permanently connected to my TV is a modded Xbox, and it just means that I can play. It's got the entire Xbox library in, NTSC and PAL, as well as some classic arcade games and emulators. And I'm definitely going to be looking at that in a couple of future videos in about, a month or so's time. Anyway, that's all that stuff. So let's have a look through the magazines, Xbox Live and the games. One thing we absolutely must do is have a look at this rather funky bag. Now, I never bought this bag because I never really intended to move my Xbox around, but it came in a collection when I bought some games off eBay or somewhere like that, and it is an official one. It's all properly branded. Even the zips here, I've got sort of the Xbox logo on them, like so, and this was designed to carry, if you can believe it, a full sort of console, which is incredible. But if you look at it, really, really nice branding on this one. Sadly, there was no hidden gems inside. But I suppose if you're off to a LAN party or something like that, you take your, it's got like a shoulder strap here with the X sort of on there. Just carry your Xbox around with you with all your bits and pieces. That is, I think, pretty darn funky, that, and I would imagine quite scarce. I can't imagine loads of those have survived, to be honest. So this was the original Xbox Live kit that came out. It wasn't on launch, was it? It was like a year or two afterwards. Yeah, 2004. And I know there's a few like little versions of this one in existence. This one comes with the 12-month Xbox Live subscription, and you could get obviously online content downloaded. Should we just have a look inside? Let's see exactly what's in this one. It's been a long time since I've downloaded it, but certainly got Xbox Live, and certainly a lot of fun. So what came in this one then? So we've got the Xbox Live 12-month membership and online game demos to Outrun 2 and Rainbow Six 3. So that was on the disc there, starter kit disc. Then you had your instruction manual. Of course, you needed to get a headset as well, didn't you? Xbox Live plugins. This is like a little promotional service. That was the 12-month subscription. That one's not been used, so I definitely did play online. I played Halo 2 online. Oh, and this was for your communicator, which sadly is no longer in there. So that's what you got in the Xbox Live kit, which is pretty interesting, isn't it? It's quite a nice little set. Easy to get a headset now if you wanted to. So that's that one. I've got a few odd magazines and books, so this was always been a fan of a good strategy guide, even though this game didn't really need a strategy guide. I mean, it wasn't that difficult. It was pretty much on rails, wasn't it? There was a few like tricky bits, but it didn't take a long time to get through. In fact, having not played it in years, I zoomed through it in a couple of days with my son recently during the lockdown. So that will be a happy memory for me. What did you do during the lockdown, Dad? Oh, well, we played through Halo complete from start to finish. I got a few odd, as I said, I saved a few magazines in my collection. This is one of the official Xbox ones. If you're going to save any of them, I think I just saved the Halo related ones because it's just such a fan of it. But as I said, I had every single issue, and I do sort of mourn not keeping some more of these magazines because they've aged quite nicely. So this one's December 2004, this one dates from, and it's certainly not a bad magazine by any means, certainly. This was another one which was a walkthrough to Halo again. Probably just picked it up in the excitement. And this one was the guide to Halo 2. which I'm still waiting to do the walkthrough of that one with my boy, but I look forward to it. So a few odd magazines there. And then, sadly, we come to the very last few games in the collection, in the PAL Xbox collection. So, the Herbs, Sims in the City. I'll just zoom through these. We've got Vexx. Now, that's quite a tough little game to get. Also quite good fun. It always reminds me of Conquer. You know Conquer on the Nintendo systems? Vietcong, Purple Haze. This is actually pretty good. I remember this one. It reminded me of the movie Platoon. All right, so if you think of that movie, which is a great Vietnam film, that is sort of how that game is, in that sort of universe. Another truly great game, and not the best copy. This has got a little bit of water ripple on it. So Warriors. So the Warriors was a classic 70s, early sort of gang film made by Rockstar. So you've got that really great pedigree from the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead series. And yeah, you basically become a gang member across late 70s New York. Absolutely fantastic. What a deep game, and it's an 18 for a very good reason. They even got some of the original cast back, the ones that were still around, because some of them have died now, to recreate their characters in the game, to do the voices and that. So boy, oh boy, is that a good game to get your hands on. It's becoming a little bit more expensive now because they've not bothered to re-release this one. Maybe because it was, they have to pay all the actors and stuff again. I don't know, but if you do come across that, that's a little gem, that one. Without Warning. Capcom, I can't say I remember playing this one, but there's so many on my chipped Xbox, my hacked one. I am slowly working my way through the alphabet, but there's so much on there, it's just incredible. So World Championship Rugby, that's, I'm not really a fan. I don't mind watching the game of rugby, but I'm not really a fan of playing it on the console. Unlike Snooker, I am a huge fan of Snooker and have really enjoyed playing it. Not so enjoyable on the Xbox, on the big screen. I've mainly enjoyed the Snooker on, of all things, the PlayStation Portable. There's a couple of great World Snooker games for that, and they're great. That was 2004. They did a follow-up because the game was so successful. Got Paul Hunter there, sadly died very young in his early 30s of cancer. But still got Ronnie and Steve Davis there. Good stuff. I do love the Snooker games. Very much a British or sort of European release, that one. Everyone loves Worms. I mean, it's been pretty much released on every system back to the days of the PC. They're no different. Once again, it's not the sort of game I think I play for any great length of time on my console, because there's so many sort of like mobile versions of it now, or you play it on a little handheld, so I wouldn't really worry too much about it. But there's Worms 4 as well. Still the same original sort of team. Then we got Wreckless, the get it out, the Yakuza missions. So this is like a sort of a driving stroke gang game. Comes quite highly recommended, that one. I'm going to squeeze it into shot here. I'll start popping these over there because this is just the last few in the collection to look at. Wrestlemania 21. Got a few fans of this one. They spent a lot of money on this, and they got all the players' likenesses correct. They really did go to town, and that's if you're into wrestling, that's probably not a bad actual game, that one. Then you got another one, Raw, World WWE Raw. So this is another wrestling game. Can't say I remember too much about that one. Oh, there we are, flying out there. I thought I could hear it knocking around. Look at the size of that book, big thick old booklet on that one as well. A little, was wondering what that was inside. Now the next couple are great because I think it is this one, in fact, X-Men Legends. You can actually output in 1080p, which is one of those few games that still plays in 1080p, and this is sort of a Dota style game where you go along isometric view down. This is brilliant, really, really good, and comes recommended. If you've never had a chance to play X-Men Legends, it might be one that you might want to try and track down, because as I said, it does come recommended. And then X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse. Now I can't remember which one it is that outputs in 1080p, but one of them does, and for its time that was absolutely phenomenal that any game could do that. And there is only a handful of these on the Xbox that are in 1080p, so do look out for those if you see them. Next one is Yager. So this is Yager with a Y. So this is a really good sci-fi futuristic game. You sort of play, it's almost like a flight simulator, but set in the future. Fantastic game. It does come highly recommended, this one. Even Edge magazine, usually quite critical, called it beautiful. Then the very last one we've got in the alphabet is this one, Zathura. I know nothing about this. I think it was aimed at youngsters, and a bit of an odd way to end the collection. There's a big sort of robot there, so I don't really know a great deal about that one. Anyway, that's the end of the collection, so I hope you've enjoyed going through all these games. I've certainly had a blast going through them, and I'm still adding to the collection today. So next time I get a little batch, like I've got 20 or 30 games to go through, I'll do a sort of latest sort of pickups video for you. So that's it for today. Do look out for more Xbox related videos in the future. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it a thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing for regular Xbox and also retro gaming content. There's already loads on the channel, and there's loads more planned, and I shall look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.